I think of Michael Jackson as a Renaissance man, a man who wasn't only one of the greatest in singing, dancing, performing, and songwriting, but also a genius in business, marketing, and even drawing. A out-of-the-box thinker who revolutionized the music industry. I'll be sharing unknown business stories and more, so enjoy. 1. The anti-gravity shoe. In 1988, the world was gifted the mega hit Smooth Criminal. In this video, Jackson is seen performing a number of iconic moves, but one in particular left the audience astonished, wondering how on earth did he do it. With his crew of backup dancers, Jackson executes a gravity-defying move, leaning some 45 degrees forward without falling over. While many may assume that it was like clever video editing or a special camera angle, but actually no. He invented a brand new shoe, a shoe that didn't exist before. And he did this with his two associates, Michael Bush and Dennis Tompkin. So the three of them created the anti-gravity shoe, and they were even rewarded a patent. And a patent is basically like an intellectual property, so it's registered that Michael Jackson is the intellectual creator or founder of that specific invention. I don't think if I even explained that correctly, but I think you understand what I mean. So basically, in the Wikipedia of Michael Jackson, you could basically write down singer, songwriter, performer, and inventor, because he's an official inventor because of the patent title. So now the big question, like, how did the shoe work? How was he able to lean forward and move back up again as if it was the most normal thing on earth? Like, it seemed so effortless. So the trick behind the gravity-defying illusion is that it was a gadgety combination of rods rising from the stage floor and the specifically designed shoes, with ankle support and cutout heels that guide over the stage rods. This enabled Michael Jackson to enjoy a stationary position on stage, giving that the incredible 45-degree effect. I still remember how mind blown I was as a kid, and I always used to like test it out and then just fall on my face. I mean, I can't be the only one who tried it as a kid, right? Story number 2. ATV Music Deal. Okay, I know this isn't the right video to get into this, so we're not gonna get too deep into conspiracies, but all I've got to say is this, yeah? Only this, one thing. The ATV deal was the best deal that Michael Jackson ever made. But I believe that it was also the deal that got him killed. And that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I do recommend everyone after watching this video, to watch the video that Candace Owens did on this situation. It's super interesting and she really goes into details. So yeah, watch that video and then come back and comment if you agree with me or not. It all started in 1985 when Michael Jackson bought the ATV catalog for $47.5 million, reportedly on the advice of Paul McCartney. ATV Music Publishing owned the rights of nearly all the Beatles songs and many other famous artists. And Paul McCartney was really not happy with Michael Jackson. He wasn't happy that his friend outbid him to buy his own songs. So yeah, their friendship broke up, sadly. 10 years later, in 1995, Michael Jackson merged ATV Music Publishing with Sony Music Publishing, forming Sony ATV Music Publishing. Michael Jackson got $110 million, I think in cash, which is crazy, especially in 1995. Plus, he got a 50% stake in the new company. Over the years, Sony ATV bought many more catalogs, so they kept on growing and growing. They bought the catalog of artists like Taylor Swift, Eminem, and a lot of people, like, they forget about that. Like, yes, he owned the catalog, but the catalog was also like growing because it was like a real company that was actually like working on signing new artists and buying new catalogs. So they were making a shit ton of money. And one of the most famous rumors is that Michael Jackson bought the catalog of Eminem out of payback because Eminem dissed him in one of his songs. But this isn't really completely true, because Michael Jackson's company, the Sony ATV company, they bought the company that owned Eminem's music. So he didn't buy Eminem's catalog, he bought the company that owned Eminem's catalog. So eventually he was the owner of Eminem's music, but there isn't really any proof showing that Michael Jackson instructed the company to buy the company that owned Eminem's music because of payback. So it's still a cool story to share, but don't be confused. Michael Jackson didn't just buy Eminem's catalog because of payback.
I made my feelings clear about the Eminem video. I think that it's demeaning and disrespectful.
But besides that, Michael was making a lot of money. So there are rumors that he was making around $15 million annually. So every single year, just $15 million in cash just because of his ownership. However, he also had big financial struggles. Of course, because of the court cases. So the lawyers were very expensive. But one thing that was also the cause of it, and many people forget it because people don't really want to blame Michael, is his spending habits were crazy and out of control.
This would be for another house.
Oh, for another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We bought these, right? And these.
Yes.
And these.
You like your urns, don't you?
Yeah. And these we bought.
Yes.
And these.
Yes.
This table.
Yes.
These. Right?
Yes.
Look at these big blue ones. Look how beautiful these are. These, right?
Oh my goodness.
These.
Yes.
Okay. Let's have a look at these ones.
They're beautiful.
Oh, that's only 275,000 each.
In 2006, he refinanced his debt to Sony. And he also made a deal with Sony that in return, they'd have the possibility to buy Sony ATV, his 50% stake in it. And that's also one of the pushback I give fans when they wonder why the Michael Jackson estate sold 50% of Michael Jackson's ownership in Sony ATV. Well, the reason is because Michael's the one who promised it, and it's probably in contract too, so they were probably even obliged to sell it to them. But I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not completely sure. But yeah, that deal was finalized in 2017, so I guess you can kind of understand where my conspiracies are coming from, because with Michael dead, it's easier to buy 50% of Sony ATV back. I mean, I don't know. I could be crazy. Story number 3. The fashion. Although this isn't really a hidden gem, I think this needs to be mentioned because Michael Bush, the personal designer of Michael Jackson, wrote this book. And this book is absolutely fascinating. I do think that people underestimate the eye for details that Michael Jackson had and the immense attention he put in the smallest things, and it's just fascinating. I mean, you need to understand, like, Michael Jackson was more than just a singer. He was also a brand. Me as a kid, I remember, like, if you're wearing a military jacket, you look like Michael Jackson. If you had, like, tape around your fingers, oh, you're trying to look like Michael Jackson. Like, Michael Jackson was bigger than just a singer and a dancer. He was like a brand. It was a marketing genius, and Michael Bush helped him with that. So I recommend everyone to buy this book, and it's just such a beautiful book too. It's quite big, so it's really nice to just have on your coffee table, and when guests come over, I've gotten so many compliments of like friends coming over and just looking at the book and just seeing the beautiful pictures. Michael Jackson and Bush just made so many iconic pieces, like the military outfit, the smooth criminal outfit, the beat it outfit, the bad outfit, and also like funny outfits, because when you think about Michael Jackson outfits, you only think about the ones you've seen in music videos, but don't forget the ones that he was wearing when he had dinner guests over.
He called one night at 2 o'clock, was always my phone call for Michael. Bush, there's something in the world that every child can identify with. What is it? Click.
That's it.
That's it. 24 hours to almost a minute, he calls back. Well, Bush, what'd you come up with? I said, Mickey Mouse. And he goes, well, that's a great answer, but we don't own Mickey Mouse. Click. He said, Bush, you're not thinking hard enough. Think hard. So one night we were so frustrated, we left, went to dinner, and in front of us was a knife, fork, and spoon. Every child in the world's taught, especially a spoon, about nourishment. So, of course, Michael, what'd you come up with, Bush? I said, oh, knife, fork, and spoon. He goes, that's the ultimate answer. Now put that on a jacket.
I just love the way he wanted to like get the best out of people. He wanted people to test their creative spirit and just think outside of the box. Think how other people wouldn't think, because if you think like other people, then you obviously get the same result. So if you're open for new ideas and you're open to test the limits, then as a result, you'll get a product that's completely different than the rest, and you'll get a product that's actually memorable. I mean, just look at these outfits. The openness for new ideas is just incredible, and it's so beautiful that Michael Jackson even told Bush that I want the clothes to dance with me. I want the clothes to be that special that even if they're just on a hanger, they're already incredible and people already want to look at it. Because me, myself, Michael Jackson, I'm a dancer. I'm not a model. So the clothes should speak for itself without me being the only thing giving it attention. And that's the philosophy that Bush used while designing these beautiful jackets, is that, is this jacket beautiful without anyone wearing it? Does his jacket catch an eye without anyone wearing it? And in order to get inspiration, Michael used many different things, but one of the things him and Bush did is they go to London and they'd visit nightclubs. And at the nightclubs, they'd speak to the locals there and they'd ask them, like, what do you think is going to be the next fashion trend? What are you enjoying as a fashion trend right now? And they'll do research on real people. They wouldn't read from the Vogue magazine, because Michael always believed that when the Vogue magazine came out, it's probably like 8 months after the shoot, so it's already outdated and fashion changes every single day. So he was so invested. Michael Jackson didn't take any shortcuts, and I think that's one of the things that makes him so great. One of my favorite quotes from Michael Jackson, and it's even in my YouTube thumbnail, is "Study the greats and become greater." So if you want to join me in that journey and you want to study more great people like Michael Jackson, then subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.